they see you as someone that is very independent and sort of just successful on your own. Like I'm feeling like they're thinking that you don't really need them in a way. And I feel like this person finds that very attractive, that you do sort of have your life together, and in a way, it's like you are stable on your own. And I feel like that's something that really impresses your person. I almost feel like with temperance, there could be some sort of an apology, or it's like they want to right their wrongs from the past here. It's like they want to heal this connection, especially if there's been like any sort of difficulties here. I feel like they sense the need to like bring more positive energy into the connection here. I'm almost getting something about like they feel like they didn't show you your worth in the past, or they didn't appreciate you. Like I feel like this person always did see your value, but may not have known exactly how to make you feel appreciated or make you feel special in the way that you deserve. So I feel like that's sort of what the temperance energy here is, like showing up for you and not taking you for granted anymore. I feel like with this death card, this does represent sort of like a new beginning. Your person is going through a transition. I feel like this means that your person wants to bring some sort of transformation to this connection. Again, I feel like it has a lot to do with like the way that they view you, and the way that they show up for you, and the way that they treat you in terms of valuing you and like respecting you with the Nine of Pentacles. Let's see. Clarify the Six of Wands. What comes to mind when Pile One's person thinks about Pile One, please? Clarify the Six of Wands. What comes to mind? Oh yeah, there's the Two of Swords again. Yeah, some sort of solution. There's like some sort of mental conflict here. Clarify the Six of Wands. What comes to mind when Pile One's person thinks about Pile One? Comes to mind when Pile One's person thinks about Pile One. Clarify the Six of Wands. We have the Empress, the Seven of Pentacles, the Four of Wands, and the Magician. Wow. So yeah, it's sort of like your person is having to call on their like inner mental power here, and especially with the Empress kind of coming out with the Queen of Pentacles again. Like you are a very beautiful, valuable person. Like this person is very lucky to know you, to have you in their life, or have had you as a partner. But I feel like for some of you, your person, almost maybe due to immaturity or just their own sort of mental health stuff, I feel like they didn't really um, mirror to you almost like how meaningful you were to them, and that may have caused a separation here. But I feel like with the Empress as well, it's like your person does want to grow something here. I feel like they want to nurture you, they want to nurture the connection. I feel like they're kind of stepping into their power with the Magician, wanting to create this. I feel like there's a lot of desire that they have for you here. It's like they're kind of taking, it's almost like they're taking charge of their world, especially if your person used to be the kind of person that just almost was like kind of floating through life, maybe a bit apathetic, or in this connection, you may have felt they were a bit apathetic. I feel like that was due to their own insecurities about their abilities to actually have like a union with you here. So I feel like now they're realizing that, they want to create this in their life. They want to create potentially a new beginning as well. And they want to invest in you because you are very important to them here at the Four of Wands. They want to invest in a commitment. They want to invest in the stability of this connection. But I feel like with the Two of Swords, they're still at a bit of a crossroads. I feel like exactly how. And they're sort of weighing mentally their different options about, what to say, what to do. But I feel like their intention is to definitely show up for you in the future. Clarify death. What comes to mind when Pile One's person thinks about Pile One? Clarify death. What comes to mind when Pile One's person thinks about Pile One? Clarify death. The Star. Okay, so yeah, definitely for those of you where there's been a separation, that's what the death card is, the death of the connection or seeming, ending here. Maybe you walked away from them for a little bit. Again, with the Nine of Pentacles, that's a very independent card that can represent even being single. So maybe you chose to end the connection and kind of go do your own thing for a while. And I feel like with the Star, your person is really missing you here. And this is all about renewal and healing. So I feel like after this period of death, it's almost like they want to bring life back to the connection here, because they still have a lot of faith in this. And I feel like with the Star, it's like you're such an important figure to them, especially with the Empress. They have you on a really high pedestal here. It's almost like you have their light or like their hope in a way. You may also represent a connection to something kind of spiritual. You may be a very spiritual person. and it's like connecting with you whenever they talk to you or spend time with you. You may sort of almost like download them with like very spiritual concepts. And I feel like when you're not in their life, it's almost like they feel like they are missing something. And I feel like it's that connection to you, it's that connection to source. So I feel like there's this element of, yeah, wanting to bring that kind of like magic back to their life by reconnecting with you. Again, let's see. Look at some of these cards. All right. What comes to mind when pile one's person thinks of pile one, please? What comes to mind? Okay, we have suffering. So the death card could represent that suffering. Like this person is suffering if you guys are in separation. For some of you, I'm also hearing that they may think about how they may have caused you suffering in the past, and that could be why there's a bit of an impasse here when it comes to maybe moving forward, is that maybe they feel like they did hurt you in the past. They may feel like they owe you an apology, but I also feel like they're suffering from the consequences of their actions as well, especially if it was like their decision to walk away from the connection. So I feel like there is pain associated from you or with you, but I feel like it's more pain of maybe that guilt of, again, like not valuing you or kind of um not treating you with respect or the way you deserve. And I feel like this person is kind of maturing now and they're looking back on suffering that they have caused you and then suffering that they feel now, that guilt and that sort of pain. Let's see. What comes to mind when pile one's person thinks of pile one, please? What comes to mind when pile one's person thinks of pile one, please? What comes to mind when pile one's person thinks of pile one? Okay, perseverance. So this is kind of the energy of the Seven of Pentacles as well. So like, and again with the Temperance card, patience. Like this person really does see how important you are. And so I feel like they, even if you guys are going through a rough patch or whatever's going on, they feel like they found something very special with you with the star. Like they know that you are a very unique individual, someone truly special and magnificent. So I feel like they feel like they don't want to just give up and move on and find somebody else, because I really feel like they know that they couldn't find somebody else like you. So perseverance. We have action and appreciation. I really like these cards. These are really good. So it's like they know that they need to take action in terms of like appreciating you more. And then I feel like that is that energy of the Six of Wands. Like they know that they need to show up for you. They need to value you and tell you, I think, how much you mean to them. Like they know that they can't just let things kind of stagnate and sort of sit and wait. It's like they know that maybe you're waiting for them to take some sort of action to show you that they really do care about you and the connection. What comes to pile one's person's mind when they think about pile one? We have cherished memories, so very, very special memories with you. I feel like you do mean a lot to this person. I feel like, especially with the Four of Wands, I feel like there's been a lot of really joyful times you guys have had together. And so I feel like, maybe in their suffering here and their sadness, when they're really missing you, they go back to times when things were really good between the two of you, when things felt right. Um, let's see, what comes to pile one's person's mind when they think about pile one? What comes to pile one's person's mind when they think about pile one? And reconciliation, look at that. So they do definitely want a reconciliation here. And I feel like that's what the star is the reconciliation energy, the healing, bringing that back to the connection. So that is really beautiful. So I definitely feel like for those of you that you've had a breakup with this person, or, just no contact, something's going on here, argument, even if it's been a long time, I feel like this is really on your person's mind, taking some action and coming back to you. Because I feel like with this perseverance almost energy, it's like no matter how long it's been, if it's been a few, a few days, a few weeks, a few months, a few years, maybe many years, it's like these memories of you, this happiness, this attraction has persevered in your person's mind as well. Let's see. What comes to pile one's person's mind when they think of pile one, please? What comes to pile one's person's mind when they think of pile one, please? What comes to pile one's person's mind? We have enchanted forest, mystery, magic, and excitement. So that is that star energy. Like you are very magical, pile one, to this person. I feel like there is just kind of this energy that you have where it's almost like you are almost like a portal to a different dimension is kind of what I'm getting. And I kind of kept seeing imagery of almost like fairies or almost like even aliens, like sort of like Palladian energy. Like there's just something very mystical about you. Like you kind of feel like um sort of like an elf from like Lord of the Rings or something. You have like this very special energy. I feel like you make your person feel very excited. Um Let's see. What comes to pile one's person's mind when they think of pile one, please? We have evolution, earth changes, climate change, and transformation. So the transformation kind of coming out a lot with the death card as well. Like this person wants to evolve. I feel like they've learned something from the ending of this connection or the current transition you guys are going through. If you guys are, in communication or together, it's like they're ready to change. They're ready to transform. They don't like necessarily where things are right now. If they feel kind of stuck with like the Two of Swords energy, they want to get back to the magic here. I feel like they're very bored without you is sort of what I'm getting. What comes to pile one's person's mind when they think of pile one, please? What comes to pile one's person's mind when they think of pile one, please? What comes to pile one's person's mind when they think of pile one, please? We have Jewel within a teardrop. Oh my God, you guys, look at this. Appreciation, spiritual, and emotional reconnection. This is like giving me goosebumps, actually. Because if we like literally have reconciliation and appreciation, that's basically what we have here. Look at that, reconciliation. This person really is thinking about reconciling with you here. They want to come back to you. So it's almost like with the jewel within a teardrop, it's like they're sort of seeing how, because you guys are separated or, temporarily or for a long time, it's like there's a gift within this suffering, like there's a gift within the sadness, and I feel like it's causing them to really appreciate the love that they actually had with you, what you gave to them, what you shared with them spiritually. And so it's like almost like you guys maybe needed to be separated, and in order for this person to get that perspective on how lucky they really were to have you in their life when they did, in order to, I feel like, treat you better in the future. What comes to pile one's person's mind when they think of pile one, please? What comes to pile one's person's mind? Oh, look at this. We have love. I commit to the practice of seeing the good in all things. So it's sort of like, maybe when you guys were together or there was more communication, it's like your person may have gotten triggered by little things or gotten annoyed easily, sort of just, I'm hearing like a bit intolerant almost, or, easily reactive. Whereas I feel like with this love energy, because there's been separation, it's like this person's like, I want to see the good in my person. I want to appreciate them. I want to value them. I don't want to just criticize every little flaw or, get upset every time they trigger me or inconvenience me. Like, I really just want to appreciate the beauty that this person has, good and bad. We have, the death card. Interesting. Again, I'm learning that endings are merely beginnings. So a lot of death energy, a lot of transformation energy. So I feel like they're not giving up hope on you guys being able to reconcile, even if things seem kind of dead or lost even between the two of you, or sort of in a weird place. I feel like they're still holding on to that hope that there could be a new beginning and you guys could have this emotional reconciliation going forward. And then we have discipline. I can accomplish what I set my mind to. That's sort of interesting because the Seven of Pentacles did come out here. This is about that emotional investment. So kind of like the Six of Wands as well. Like, this person wants to be disciplined. It's like they want to set their mind to fixing things with you, and they don't want to just give up and get scared and run off. Maybe like that could have been their pattern in the past. So instead of being apathetic, actually persevering and showing up for you, instead of just like kind of getting overwhelmed and running away when things get difficult. What does pile one's person want to say to pile one right now? Chemistry, whenever we're together, sparks fly. So you guys do have a lot of chemistry. Lonely, when I'm alone, I'd rather be with you. So this person may be feeling very lonely. They could be spending a lot of time alone, and they're saying that when they're alone, they are missing you and they would rather be with you. It's like in a perfect world, they wish that you guys could come together despite the obstacles and be together. What would pile one's person like to say to pile one? What would pile one's person like to say? We have running. I was running away from myself and my unresolved issues. So there definitely could have been running here. Your person might have just packed up and sort of disappeared. And I think it was just because you were bringing up things within them that they weren't quite ready to face. Clarity. Through inner peace, I have found the truth of my soul. So they are gaining clarity, though, seeing the truth. And I feel like the truth of their soul has a lot to do with you and their feelings. Consciousness. I acted from my level of consciousness at the time. So them running away was just, their level of consciousness. It was their level of awareness. It was kind of what they felt capable of, if that makes sense. And then together, I want us to be together. I love being around you. So they really are missing you. They're lonely. They want to be with you. And they're missing your company, I feel like, a lot. They're missing, again, those cherished memories of the good times you guys did have together when things were easier. So it's interesting for your pile. I don't usually channel sons, but I feel like if you guys know that Bruno Mars song, it's like When I Was Your Man. I don't know if that's actually the title, but it's sort of that song about like when you're separated from someone and then you're kind of thinking like, I really didn't appreciate you when I had you, and now somebody else is appreciating you, and now I'm thinking about all the things I should have done to make you feel special. I feel like that's sort of the energy of your person. Sort of random. Um, what does Pile One's person want to say to Pile One, please? I'm going through a dark night of the soul, so definitely the death energy. There's like kind of an ego death going on with them. I feel I'm connecting more deeply to my spirituality, so that is the star energy as well. Maybe through connecting to their spirituality, it's like they're starting to rediscover things about you and the connection. I feel lost without you. Look at that. With the lonely energy, your person is really missing you, you guys. Look at that. Feeling lost without you, feeling lonely. Oh. Don't take my actions personally. It's not your fault, I promise. So whatever this person did, they're saying like, look, their higher self is saying, look, it's not your fault that I ran away. It's not because you're not good enough or anything like that. There really are just blockages I feel like your person needs to work through. I like to fantasize about having a future with you. And I think that was all of them. Yes. Let's see. Get some of these cards. What does Pile One's person want to say to Pile One, please? What does Pile One's person want to say to Pile One, please? To say. I've had secret feelings for you for a long time, so this person may have kind of, come in and out of your life, but maybe they never told you the full extent of, yeah, they want a future with you. They really do care about you so deeply. What does Pile One's person want to say to Pile One, please? And I want to see you in person. So this person could be at a distance from you for some of you, and I feel like they're wanting to make plans to maybe come be closer to you, come hang out with you, spend time with you. What does Pile One's person want to say to Pile One, please? What does Pile One's person want to say to Pile One, please? We have the superficial things I thought I wanted only brought me suffering. So they could have chased some superficial things or, really tried to wear a mask and act from that kind of ego place. And I feel like they're realizing, again, with that suffering energy coming through that, they brought a lot of suffering, I feel like, upon themselves through their choices. And I feel like they kind of want to turn around and maybe really prioritize you instead, especially if they're off kind of chasing their fantasies and their whims. I feel like they're realizing that like the thing that they should have been prioritizing and investing in was this connection, was you. Um, let's see, I will never regret the love we've shared. I would still do it all over again no matter what has happened between us. So even if there's been a lot of pain and a lot of messiness, they're saying like I wouldn't um I wouldn't go back on it. Like it was still worth it to share that experience with you. When I broke your heart, I broke mine too. It's sort of intense. So there definitely could have been some heartbreak here. And I feel like this person is saying like, hey, like when I hurt you, when I made those choices, um, when I, maybe left you or did what I did, betrayed you, etc., like it really only ended up hurting me too. Like I really felt the pain that you felt as well from those actions. All right, pile one. Before we close out your reading, let me get you a card from these lovely cards. All right, what does pile one really need to hear right now, please? What does, oh, all right. 3 cards. We have now in the holy space between. Allow me, divine beloved, to rest in that holy space between what is and what will be. Let me fully embrace, relax, and bless the now. So you may be feeling like you're spending a lot of time in the past or in the future. That could cause a lot of sadness and also anxiety, depending on where you're kind of existing. So definitely remember to, if you're feeling like you're spiraling, it is really good to, notice things, hear things, pay attention just to where you are right now in the moment, and enjoy just, yeah, the present moment for sure. Because I feel like we can really get caught up in memories or fears of the future and really forget to just enjoy what's in front of us, which, yeah, is definitely unfortunate. And then we have offering, I am peaceful. Let me, divine beloved, offer all desires to you, knowing that the right outcomes are already selected. Grant me true surrender and peace. Let me be only a vehicle for your will in every way. So this is really beautiful. So kind of a message of offering yourself to the divine. Also, if you have a really strong desire to be in a relationship with this person, or you desire a lot of, I don't know, a certain job path or money or something, whatever you desire, it is good to offer it, offer this relationship, especially if it's a very spiritual relationship, offer it, and let things kind of be what they are. And, maybe reconnect with this person or you are presented with a, alternative option that is very pleasant. So I feel like it is important to offer to like the highest path, especially in times of confusion, not knowing quite what to do. We have true nature, I know the eternal. Change me, divine beloved, into one who knows the true nature of our souls. Awaken me to the knowledge of the eternal. Let me know my true self as consciousness. So, getting to know yourself as a soul rather than just as a body or just as an ego. Um, so yeah, awaken me to the knowledge of the eternal. So yeah, the true self is consciousness, and we are kind of just consciousness floating in like the collective unconscious, all connected. And I feel like when we get too caught up in our individual little worlds or individual little bubble, like I go to work, I do this, blah blah blah, we kind of forget in some ways to love and appreciate each other because we're so caught up in our own head without realizing that. I feel like we come here really um, to rediscover the spirituality and rediscover our souls, as well as really experience love and kind of clear out all those blockages we may have to giving and receiving love. All right, Pile One, thank you so much for watching. It's been a pleasure reading for you, sending you so much love and beauty. Please take care of yourselves. All right, bye-bye. Hello, Pile Two. So let's get into your reading and see what your person thinks of you, what comes to mind when they think of you. All right, Pile Two. What comes to Pile Two's person's mind when they think of Pile Two, please? What comes to Pile Two's person's mind when they think of Pile Two, please? What comes to Pile Two's person's mind when they think of Pile Two? All right, so what do we have here? Oops. Okay. So we have the Knight of Wands, the Seven of Cups, Queen of Cups, Five of Wands, interesting, the Moon, and the Four of Cups. Okay, so, interesting. I feel like this person is a little jealous, is sort of what I'm getting. And I feel like for some of you, this person may be a bit of a secret admirer almost. I'm getting with the Seven of Cups and the Moon. It's like, they have a lot of fantasies about you. I feel like, this could be very passionate fantasies, especially with the Knight of Wands. I feel like this person is very attracted to you. There's just something about you that this person finds very appealing. But with the Moon, I feel like there's a lot of sort of hidden fantasies here. Kind of, they may think of you late at night, and kind of daydream about you as well. But it's like they may not necessarily tell you, like, hey, I'm thinking about you all the time. I'm so attracted to you, that kind of energy. For some of you, I feel like this person really hasn't been very forward about their emotions for whatever reason. There could be a lot of fears here with the Moon. Could be a lot of doubts. It could be that they're not really sure quite how you feel about them. And I feel like with the Five of Wands, it's like I'm almost getting this energy like your person knows that a lot of people are very attracted to you, or kind of in their head, they're thinking about that. They're thinking like, how many people do I have to fight off to get with this person? Or how many other people are they talking to, or are they going on dates with other people? Like, they may or may not know for sure if you are. For some of you, you may be, but I feel like in their head, they're almost like imagining that there's a lot of competition for you, just because I feel like they know that you're a very special person at the Queen of Cups, very lovely. I feel like you just have a very kind of like angelic beauty. I'm getting the word mermaid or like merman. Maybe you kind of have like watery energy. Maybe you have like blue eyes or something like that, or there's just something kind of very watery and beautiful about you, very emotional. You may be a water sign. And I feel like with the Four of Cups, there's a bit of disappointment here. I feel like your person, again, it's like they're not necessarily taking action towards you. For some of you, it's almost like they think of you and they fantasize about you and they kind of yearn for you, but it's almost like they're afraid to maybe reach out and offer their cup, or maybe attempt to pursue you or open up to you. So it's sort of like they see this really beautiful love that they have for you, but it's almost like they're just sort of looking at it and not really acting. And I feel like for some of you, there could have been an opportunity in the past that your person may have had to be with you or to take some sort of action. And for some of you, they may not have done that due to their own fears or insecurities. They preferred to kind of keep those things private. And I feel like there's like a bit of disappointment now in their sort of not taking action. But I feel like with the Knight of Wands, they do think about it, though. I feel like they do think about rushing in passionately. But they may feel like they're one amongst many is kind of the vibe I'm getting, that maybe they're not special to you for some of them. Let's see. Clarify the Four of Cups. What comes to pile two's person's mind when they think of pile two? Oh my God, look at that, the Knight of Wands again. I love that. That's so cool. So yeah, this person does think about coming towards you, making moves, taking action. What is this other card? Let's see. Oh, look at that. We have the Two of Cups and the Magician. So this person is thinking about coming forward and having a relationship with you. I feel like this person wants like and kind of like I'm hearing like an exclusive romantic relationship. Again, it's like they want to kind of like take you off the market, so to speak, because I feel like they see a lot of competition, or just in their head they value you so much that they feel like, oh, everybody sees what I see in pile two. Everybody wants pile two. The Magician. So yeah, they definitely do want to manifest this here. They want to kind of step into their power and do something about their feelings for you. For some of you, you may be with somebody else, is almost for some of you, where they may be scared that you, like I'm hearing something about like there may be like a friend that you have that they're afraid that you're with or something like that. For some of you, they're very specific message. Like they've seen someone on social media, or someone may be commenting on your social media, or you've posted pictures of yourself on social media with people, and they kind of wonder, like, are you seeing those people? That's very specific for some of you. Clarify, let's see. Clarify the Seven of Cups. What comes to pile two's person's mind when they think of pile two? We have the Tower. So, and let's see, the Three of Wands. Yeah, it's like for some of you, even, they may feel like for some of you, this could be relevant. They like may have gone down another road here at the Seven of Cups. They may have also had other options here. But I feel like with the Tower energy, it's like they really feel like they want to have a dramatic change, I feel like, in this connection. It's like they want to let go of their ego a bit in order to maybe come forward and reveal these secrets as well. Like with the Three of Wands coming home. I almost feel like, again, for some of you, it's like they made a choice and they went down a certain path, but they're feeling like that has come to an end, or that needs to leave their life. That could be a karmic partner, something like that, karmic situation. It's like that needs to be let go of so that they can return to you, that they can come home to you. For some of you, that could be why they're keeping their feelings secret, is there's another connection in the way. But they feel like they know that in order to live out their fantasies with you, they do need to maybe walk away from something. For some of you, that could just be about, tearing off their masks as well. It could not necessarily be another person. Let's see. Clarify the Queen of Cups. What comes to pile two's person's mind when they think of pile two? Let's see. That's a bit too many. Clarify the Queen of Cups. What comes to pile two's person's mind when they think of pile two? Clarify the Queen of Cups, please. Let's see. Nine of Swords, Ten of Swords, and the Knight of Swords. So there's a lot of fears I feel like your person is having to work through in order to come towards you. I feel like they view you as being very special, and that could be a bit intimidating to them here. So there is some sort of ending here. I feel like it's like they're having to face their really intense fears and kind of work through them, almost like with the Ten of Swords. That is almost like all the pain, all the nightmares of the Nine of Swords finally culminating in the Ten of Swords, is just sort of the rock bottom. But from the rock bottom, there's always progression towards something else. So it's like, I almost feel like this person needs to have an ego death, or again, they need to leave some situation behind, or just work through some personal blockage in order to take the action that they really want to take towards you. Tell the truth as well with the Knight of Swords. It's like, confess these feelings, open up, open the lines of communication is like what I'm hearing. So some of you may be no contact with your person. Let's get some of these cards. What comes to pile two's person's mind when they think of pile two, please? What comes to pile two's person's mind when they think of pile two, please? We have victory. So yes, they want a victory here. They want to win. We have breakthrough. Interesting. What comes to pile two's person's mind when they think of pile two? Clarity. Okay, so we have breakthrough and clarity. So obviously, this person wants to bring clarity to this connection. They want to have a breakthrough. So that could be, for some of you, if you've been no contact for a period, it could be just a sudden wall of text or just a sudden text message here. But I also feel like they've gotten clarity individually on, the nature of their feelings, what they need to do about the connection. So I feel like there's something, but the breakthrough and the clarity is like there's something important, I feel like, happening right now. What comes to pile two's person's mind when they think of pile two, please? What comes to pile two's person's mind when they think of pile two? All right, let's see. So interesting. So we have retreat. So it could be that right now they're kind of maybe gaining this clarity sort of on their own, that they're retreating here. They're kind of retreating within themselves. Sort of this, the moon is sort of, to me, the subconscious mind. It's the emotions. So it could be that they're working through a lot of their feelings right now. They feel like if they're kind of in this stressful energy, they may not be quite ready for this victory. But this is really good. We do have justice here, so wanting to bring balance and fairness into the connection, happily ever after, and stability. So it's like maybe after they need a period to sort of maybe walk away, figure their head out. But I feel like their goal is to eventually have this happily ever after and stability with you. I feel like that is like the Ten of Cups energy. So they do dream about that, and that could be the clarity. Maybe this person was afraid of commitment for a while, or they were running away from the connection for whatever reason. But I feel like what they've really gained clarity on is like, hey, like this is the person that makes me feel victorious. This is the person that makes me feel, so emotionally fulfilled. Like I want to bring stability to this person in this connection because it's important to me. What comes to Pile Two's person's mind when they think of Pile Two, please? What comes to Pile Two's person's mind when they think of Pile Two? We have self-esteem. I possess gifts of the soul that benefit me and others. So that could be that they know that they need to work on their self-esteem here if they didn't feel good enough for you. Um, actually reflect on what they could bring to the connection. It could be that they felt like they didn't really bring anything to the connection, that they didn't really offer you anything important. And it's like they're having to really recognize their value as a person. And then death, I'm learning that endings are merely beginnings. So there could be an ending here. It could be the ending of another connection or an ending of, again, like a personal cycle. But they do, or the ending of this connection. This person is really wanting a new beginning here, or just a fresh start in their life. It could be like they've had a breakthrough here. It could be like they've been stuck in their old ways, stuck in a karmic pattern or situation, and they're realizing with this breakthrough, like this death energy, like it's time for me to put this behind me. It's time for me to start again. I want to be a better version of myself. What comes to Pile Two's person's mind when they think of Pile Two, please? Surrender. I can release my need to control. So they are surrendering, I feel like, maybe to what the universe wants for them, sort of like with the tower energy. That kind of, it's like almost like you're forced into surrender. It's like life kind of just comes at you and you kind of just have to um, kind of buckle down and learn the lesson. So it could be your person maybe had control issues. They felt like they wore too many masks, or they really had like kind of this tightly bound energy where they didn't want to reveal too much. But I feel like they're realizing that sometimes you do have to kind of just dive into situations and sort of just open up. What comes to Pile Two's person's mind when they think of Pile Two, please? What comes to Pile Two's person's mind? Or look at that remembrance, resurfacing of past feelings and emotions. So they are definitely remembering you here. I feel like there's a lot of, maybe repressed emotions if it's been a long time. And they're realizing, like, I really did care for this person. I really did love this person. What comes to Pile Two's person's mind when they think of Pile Two, please? What comes to Pile Two's person's mind when they think of Pile Two, please? What comes to Pile Two's person's mind? Loss, grief, sadness, and resurrection. So again, there may be a loss here. There may be a lot of grief that they feel. But I feel like with this resurrection, with that death energy, it's like they do want to resurrect the connection. They want to bring it back to life. For some of you, that could be a larger or smaller sort of separation. What comes to Pile Two's person's mind when they think of Pile Two, please? What comes to Pile Two's person's mind? Oops. We have thinking of you, a loving thought, and serendipity. Oh, that's so beautiful. So they are thinking about you. They have loving thoughts about you. I feel like there could be a lot of synchronicity, serendipitous, like kind of serendipitous things. Like they may think about you and then see your name somewhere or something like that. And then Zen Garden, Inner Sanctuary. So they may be kind of retreating into their own inner world. I'm almost feeling like with that fantasy energy from the Seven of Cups, that they may kind of retreat into an inner sanctuary where the two of you guys are together. They could be sort of visualizing you, your face, being with you. And that may feel sort of like maybe a safe way to interact with you, or maybe if they're having to kind of escape from sort of chaos in their external world, it's like they kind of escape to visions of you, to being with you in their head. What does Pile Two's person want to say to Pile Two, please? What does Pile Two's person want to say to Pile Two, please? What does Pile Two's person want to say to Pile Two, please? Mutual. The love between us is mutual. I feel the same way that you do. So interesting that justice would come out. That is about balance. So it could be that they didn't really show you the love that you showed to them, and maybe made you feel like it was one-sided, even though it wasn't. Beauty, you are so gorgeous to me. It's very sweet. What does Pile Two's person want to say? Silence. I miss our conversations. The silence hurts. So for those of you that are no contact, they are feeling very sad. They're missing talking to you. Truth, I want to be more honest with you about how I'm feeling. So we did see the Knight of Swords. I do want to be more honest, give you that breakthrough, that clarity that you've been needing. What does Pile Two's person want to say? Relationship, I want something serious with you. So we did see the happily ever after. What does Pile Two's person want to say to Pile Two? Loyalty, I'm devoted to you. You are the only one that I want. And wounded, hurt people hurt people. So this person could have hurt you in the past. For some of you, they may have ghosted you or disappeared. And they're basically saying that their hurtful behavior or their inconsistency, whatever's going on, really is just because of their own inner pain, those self-esteem issues they may have been struggling with in the past. What does Pile Two's person want to say? We have, you always get my blood pumping. Wow. So again, with that beauty, you're very attractive to this person. I want to wake up in your arms every day. Don't give up hope on me, please. What does Pile Two's person want to say to Pile Two? Does Pile Two's person want to say to Pile Two? Does Pile Two's person want to say? And my attraction to you grows stronger by the day. So I feel like as you heal, as you come into your own energy, as you work on yourself, I feel like this person feels that and they're feeling very, very attracted to you. And I feel like it's getting harder to, resist the connection or stay away from you. What does Pile Two's person want to say to Pile Two? Please have compassion for me and try to understand things from my perspective. I was working with what I had at the time. So again, this wounded energy, your person is sort of asking for forgiveness and compassion that they were maybe acting from a place of woundedness and, their own confusion. And they're just saying, I was working with what I had. I was doing the best that I could, even if it was sort of, not the best. And then we're mirroring 1221. So you guys may be mirroring each other a lot. I feel like a lot of, if you're really, for example, if you're really missing your conversations, if you're really missing your person, they're mirroring that and also really missing you a lot. See, my desire for you gets so overwhelming sometimes I need space and time to cool off. Again, with this blood pumping, it could be that like they see pictures of you and they get very excited. I've been hurt a lot in the past, sorry. I've been hurt a lot in the past. It made it hard for me to trust you. I'm trying my best even if it doesn't seem like it. That's so interesting. That's just what I said. So even if their best is not looking very good, it's like they really are just working with what they have. I try to act aloof to hide how totally in love with you I am. The truth is, I don't want anyone else. I was just trying to make you jealous to get your attention, but I'm seeing now how that just pushed you away more. So for some of you, this person may have been trying to make you feel jealous, or they could have been manipulating the situation a bit. And I feel like, that could have been something not necessarily kind of specific, but that could have been something going on here. When I feel like I've shown you too much of my real feelings, I shut down and run away because the vulnerability makes me feel unsafe. So, like this person had some issues with vulnerability, shutting down. Again, they could have been hurt a lot in the past, could have felt very ashamed or made to feel very, insecure about who they are as a person. And maybe they didn't want to show you too much of who they are because they feel like you would reject them if you really knew them. So I feel like there's a lot of complexity with your person that they're working through. Let's see. What does Pile 2 need to hear right now, please? What does Pile 2 need to hear right now, please? What does Pile 2 need to hear right now, please? What does Pile 2 need to hear? C. Take all these. We have divine assistance. I'm open to receive. Change me, divine beloved, into one who is willing to receive all the right help. Let me feel deserving of divine assistance in every way. Open me to receive. So if you're struggling at all in any area of your life, I feel like praying to receive help that you need, assistance. We have honoring. I am kind and loving. Change me, divine beloved, into one who honors my emotions. Let me feel my feelings without judgment and then release them. Show me how to be kind and loving to the child inside who needs care. Acceptance, I accept myself. Let me love and accept myself as you love me. May I feel you shining brightly within my own being. That's really beautiful. And nurturing, I am a spark of divinity. Change me, divine beloved, into one who accepts my body exactly as it is, seeing it as a vessel for your love. Fill me with gratitude for this physical form. Let me nurture and care for myself in every way. So this is really beautiful. I feel like there's a lot of acceptance. Sort of interesting how to mirror your person. A lot of self-acceptance that you may be doing right now, into maybe accepting the way that you look or just the way that you are. And I really resonate with that, like seeing our body as a vessel for your love. I feel like I've seen that before, like like purifying and emptying ourselves and really just using our physical bodies as a container for that divine essence, that divine love that we can share and spread amongst other people. All right, Pile 2, thank you so much for watching. It's been a pleasure reading for you. Sending you so much love. Please take care of yourselves. All right, bye-bye. Hello, Pile 3. Welcome to your reading. Thank you guys so much for being here with me. So let's get into what comes to mind when your person thinks about you. All right, Pile 3. What comes to Pile 3's person's mind when they think of Pile 3? Oops. What comes to Pile 3's person's mind when they think of Pile 3, please? What comes to Pile 3's person's mind when they think of Pile 3, please? We have the world. What comes to Pile 3's person's mind when they think of Pile 3, please? What comes to Pile 3's person's mind when they think of Pile 3, please? Right. What comes to Pile 3's person's mind when they think of Pile 3, please? All right, we have the Hierophant, the Page of Pentacles, the Hermit, the King of Swords, and the Ace of Pentacles. Okay, so let's see. I feel like with the world, this person feels like you really bring them this sense of kind of completion and wholeness. I feel like when they think of you, it's almost like I feel like they think of you as almost like kind of this enlightened being from this card, especially. Like you kind of have it all figured out, Pile 3. That's sort of the vibe I get from your person, is it's like they think that you are sort of at peace in your world, you're sort of at one with everything, and you really just have this sense of kind of like you've graduated, so to speak, from like the earth plane. Like you've kind of learned all the lessons, you've kind of just figured it out, and you're kind of just sitting here, doing your own thing. And I feel like with the Hermit, it's like they feel like maybe they are very much still on their own journey. I feel like I'm just getting a lot of messages that it's like this person looks up to you. They look up to maybe your maturity, your wholeness. I also feel like the world indicates that your person feels like you do complete them. Like you are sort of everything that they've wanted in a person. And it's like, that's it. Like they've kind of found their person with you, if that makes sense. That like they know that there isn't really much beyond you, so to speak. Like there isn't a higher partner or someone that they could love more. It's like you are that person to them. You are that completion. But it could be with the Hermit. They may not necessarily always tell you these feelings. This person may be sort of isolating themselves right now, sort of withdrawn. I feel like your person is definitely contemplating some sort of commitment, though, with the Hierophant and the Ace of Pentacles and the Page of Pentacles. It's like they do want to offer you some sort of stability here. They want to offer you some sort of grounding. And I feel like with the King of Swords, your person's very much in their head here. Kind of like balancing in a way like their logical and their spiritual self with the Hierophant and the King of Swords. Maybe trying to formulate a logical plan as to how to bring you this new beginning, bring you this Ace of Pentacles. Let's see. Could be that they're getting really clear on what they want to say to you or preparing to offer you some sort of truth. Could even be preparing to ask you for a commitment there. Let's see. Clarify the world. What comes to Pile 3's person's mind when they think of Pile 3? Clarify the world. What comes to Pile 3's person's mind when they think of Pile 3? Oh, wow. So we have the Ace of Cups and, the Six of Cups. Again, yeah, it's like this person definitely feels like you are like a very high level soulmate or even like twin flame, like you are just their person, their counterpart. Like this is like the fullest extent of love that you can like experience in this lifetime. It's kind of what I'm getting here. It's very, very spiritual. It's like you represent, just so much love to them here. Let's see. It's like a very spiritual love as well. They feel like maybe you've had past lives together too. Let's see. Clarify the Hermit. What comes to Pile 3's person's mind when they think of Pile 3? Clarify the Hermit. What comes to Pile 3's person's mind when they think of Pile 3? Clarify the Hermit. What comes to Pile 3's person's mind? We have the Four of Swords, taking time to heal and meditate. So, yeah, this person is definitely like again, thinking very highly of you, thinking of, all this love that they have for you, how complete and happy you make them feel. But I feel like right now, they really are just like hermit mode, figuring their stuff out, maybe taking time to actually like heal from their emotional blockages. Kind of what I was channeling earlier. It's like I really sense that they feel like you've completed it, you're enlightened, you've done whatever. You have it all figured out, even if that's not necessarily true. I feel like that's kind of how your person views you. But I feel like as far as themselves, they feel like they still have a ways to go in their journey, that they still have, things to figure out. They still have that enlightenment to reach. Um, there's still wisdom that they need to gain somehow, maybe by being alone. So for some of you, it could be that this is a period of separation or just a brief, time apart from each other, where you guys are both kind of finding yourself spiritually, sort of doing your own thing. But I feel like you're very much on your person's mind, and they are very much thinking about how special you are to them. I feel like the Six of Cups could also mean that they are wanting a reconciliation of some sort here. They do plan on returning to you, maybe once they've healed a bit, or they've had whatever realizations they've needed to have. Clarify the Ace of Pentacles. What comes to pile three's person's mind when they think of pile three? Clarify the Ace of Pentacles. What comes to pile three's person's mind when they think of pile three? Clarify the Ace of Pentacles. What comes to pile three's person's mind? And they think of pile three. What comes to pile three's person's mind? We have the Tower. So for some of you, there could have been maybe an upheaval here. There could have been a bit of, could have been things kind of fell off the wagon, or so to speak, or fell off the rails. I don't know. I'm thinking of a trail. I'm seeing an image of a train going off the rails or something like that. So it could have been that somewhere along the line, this person got triggered, or there was a conflict, an argument, egos got involved, and things kind of went a little off track. But I feel like your person's wanting to bring it back here. They're wanting to fix things. I feel like the Tower was necessary, though. This person may have had to learn a difficult lesson. It could have been that there was a little bit of a ego loss that they experienced. There was a bit of a lesson needed to be learned, or like a karmic cycle that needed to be completed. But I feel like this is sort of being done now, as your person is sort of in their hermit energy, figuring things out. And I feel like they are releasing a lot of negative energy, their own negative cycles, their negative patterns. And I feel like this is preparing them to offer you something really stable and really real here. Something that's actually grounded. And, I feel like your person is maturing spiritually for sure, coming into their own, learning those lessons, gaining that wisdom. Let's see. Clarify the Hierophant. What comes to pile three's person's mind when they think of pile three? Clarify the Hierophant. What comes to pile three's person's mind? Let's see. Reshuffle. Clarify the Hierophant. What comes to pile three's person's mind when they think of pile three? We have the Ten of Swords. Clarify the Hierophant. What comes to pile three's person's mind when they think of pile three? Clarify the Hierophant. What comes to pile three's person's mind? Oh, interesting. Okay, so we have the Five of Swords and the Ten of Swords. I definitely feel like for some of you there was like an argument here, some sort of conflict, some sort of clash. And I feel like your person is really looking back on this and sort of regretting maybe acting a bit. I'm hearing they acted foolish, they acted selfish for some of you. And they're getting a lot of clarity on this. And it's like you may have, for some of you, walked away from this person because they may have really hurt you. Maybe you just were like, hey, I can't do this right now. We need to go figure our own stuff out. You need to heal. I can't deal with you. Like there's obviously stuff you need to work on. You may have literally said that to this person, or that was sort of the message that you sent to them and they kind of got that, because I feel like they're doing that work right now. And I feel like this person has realized that, like, in order to ascend spiritually, it's like they needed to learn this lesson from whatever this event was. And then as they have kind of integrated this lesson, as they kind of come back into wholeness, kind of do this completion within themselves, even maybe come to their own sense of enlightenment, sense of clarity, fill those wounds within themselves. It's like they'll be able to actually offer you something very real, because I feel like with the Tower, maybe you guys tried to work things out, tried to be together, and maybe it all just kind of came crashing down because I feel like your person maybe simply was not stable within themselves enough to sustain a working relationship with you. Even though they may have had all this love for you, all this emotion, all this kind of soul tie, it could have been that they simply were not mature enough or ready. So it's almost like there's been a necessary time apart, or just period of integration and sort of stillness. in order for your person to like gain those lessons to bring to you um, something that's more long lasting, something that won't just crumble at the littlest, triggering. All right, let's get some of these cards. What comes to pile three's person's mind when they think of pile three, please? What comes to pile three's person's mind when they think of pile three, please? What comes to pile three's person's mind when they think of pile three? Oh, look at that. So you have communication. So this person, if you guys are no communication, I feel like they do really want to reach out. The Page of Pentacles to me usually represents like a text message. It's something very physical. Could be like even asking you to hang out with them, go on a date with them, or something like that. So they are very much thinking about communicating with you. What comes to pile three's person's mind when they think of pile three? We have balance. So things could have been very imbalanced here. Your person may have been unbalanced and they're like, hey, I want to bring stability back to this connection. I don't like this tower energy. I want to bring the love back to the connection. Purification, interesting. The tower definitely to me does represent purification. So I feel very much your person, pile three, is going through a purification. It's almost like the divine is needing them to release a lot in order for the love to enter them here. The connection is being purified. We have desire. So this person is really wanting you here. They have a lot of desire for you. I'm hearing intimacy, emotional intimacy, physical intimacy. We have secrecy. So this could be kind of a secret desire as well. Like kind of with that energy of the hermit, this person may not be saying much, but I feel like they are really wanting you. They're really thinking about you here, but it could be that they're still keeping it to themselves. The King of Swords can kind of play a good poker face. So your person may be appearing very aloof or almost just like kind of still, and you're not really sure what they're thinking. They're not showing you much, but I feel like there's a lot going on inside their head and in their heart. But they may be, very quiet just on social media, just in general, not revealing too much. I feel like they're not really ready because I feel like they're still very much in this kind of cocoon as they're going through this purification. I feel like with the hermit, it's like your person's, I'm hearing like they're going like monk, they're like in like monk mode or something like that. It's like they're really leaving behind almost the external world for a bit. Like they may have taken a hiatus from social media, from something. Some of them may have healing. Look at that. Yeah, it's almost like some of them, they may have literally just gone off the grid and like gone into, I've almost seen like a person just like disappearing into a cabin in the middle of nowhere. Or that is kind of where they are mentally, even if not physically. That's sort of where they're at mentally. Is just like, I don't want to be around anyone, just me or very close family or something like that. What comes to pile three's person's mind when they think of pile three? We have change, we have joyous union, intuition, manifestation. So yeah, it's like in order to have this joyous union, in order to have the Six of Cups, it's like they know that they need to change. It's like they know that they maybe have acted unhealthy in the past. There's definitely stuff that they need to work through, especially with this Five of Swords. I feel like this Five of Swords is what I'm getting, that they really realized when they got very triggered that there are things that they need to work on. Then I feel like here, like their intuition here is really telling them that yes, you are like someone very important to them and someone that is very much worth putting in the effort to change for. And I feel like they are really thinking about manifesting this joyous union. For some of them, they may literally be into manifesting, and by healing themselves, it's like they are manifesting a potential future for you guys to be together. Let's get some messages from them. What does pile three's person want to say to pile three, please? Let's see, what does pile three's person want to say to pile three, please? We have, I'm very sensitive to your words and actions. So yeah, definitely this person could just be like super sensitive to any perceived rejection. That could have been what happened here. This person may have gotten very triggered by something you did or said. My body belongs to you. Wow. So this person does feel like you are their person, like you are the person that they want to be intimate with. What does pile three's person want to say to pile three? What does pile three's person want to say to pile three? I've been soul searching and going within to find answers. And look at that with the Hermit. Yeah, definitely something that's going on if your person. I forgot to do oracle cards. Let me go back to these and then do the rest of the messages. What comes to pile three's person's mind when they think of pile three, please? What comes to pile three's person's mind when they think of pile three, please? We have perception beyond the veil of illusion, and that is sort of the energy, like the Eight of Cups. This person may have created a lot of illusions. They may have kind of been lost in the 3D world or lost in the matrix, so to speak, a bit. But I feel like right now it's like they're peeling back those layers of illusions and actually starting to realize, who they are as a spiritual being is kind of what I'm getting. I feel like this person's having like an awakening. Reflection, illusion. Look at that illusion again. Self-examination and distortion. So I feel like they are your mirror image for some of you. They're using your connection as a tool for self-reflection, self-examination. I feel like this person was caught up in illusion, their own illusions. They were maybe very distorted, and I feel like right now this is really what they're doing. It's almost like through this stillness, they're able to get a clearer picture of who they really are, and they may be realizing that they acted from a very distorted place, and it's like they don't really want to be this person anymore. They don't want to be this distorted version of themselves. They want to be true to who they are, and I feel like part of their soul truth is this love that they have for you that they may not have been really acting on, or it was coming out in a distorted way. Healing, reconnecting with your true nature. Oh my gosh, you guys, this is a very synchronistic reading. So they are connected, literally like what I was saying, their true nature, with which is love, which is openness, but they could have been lost for a long time on a different path. Wow. What comes to pile three's person's mind when they think of pile three, please? What comes to pile three's person's mind when they think of pile three, please? What comes to pile three's person's mind? Friendship. I understand that a friend is in my life for a reason. So you may be, this definitely could be a very romantic connection, but it doesn't mean you don't have to have a strong friendship. So they're realizing that like you are in their life for a reason, that you have, you're like a friend of their soul in a way, like your souls know each other in other realities or in past lives. And that this relationship wasn't for no reason. Even if there's been a lot of triggering or pain or intensity, you are their mirror, you are their reflection. You are in their life to teach them important things. So maybe they're learning to be a little bit more grateful instead of seeing you in a negative light or in a distorted way. What comes to pile three's person's mind when they think of pile three, please? What comes to pile three's person's mind when they think of pile three, please? What comes to pile three's person's mind when they think of pile three, please? We have guilt. I release any beliefs that no longer assist in my soul's growth. So they may have had limiting beliefs or just negative beliefs about love, and they are releasing those. There also may be a bit of guilt that this person does have for maybe how they treated you in the past, and then the doubt. I release the need to know all the answers. So I feel like from this, your person is releasing doubt and fears and insecurities, and maybe that need to control or know the outcomes of things, just be more confident in sort of living from that divine place and just sort of trusting that they will be led to, where they need to go. They will experience what they need to experience without having to overthink almost and figure everything out. Definitely, we do have the Hermit coming out, so there's that energy of Virgo, which can be a bit neurotic, a bit overthinking. So I feel like your person is working on building faith kind of in the divine rather than constantly stressing about things all the time. See, so some of these messages. What does pile three's person want to say to pile three, please? What does pile three's person want to say to pile three, please? Stability. I want to build a strong foundation with you. That's so interesting. I was kind of picking up on that earlier. Like this connection may not have been built on a strong foundation in the past because of this person was not stable within themselves. But it's like they want to work towards building their inner stability as well as stability with you. What does pile three's person want to say? Pride. Being stuck in my ego kept me from being honest with you. See, again, that illusion. I feel like this person is really seeing how their ego may have messed this connection up in the past. Closer. I need to be close to you. I want to feel your touch. So they may be really missing the intimacy here a lot, pile three. What does pile three's person want to say to pile three? Crush. I'm crushing on you hard. You're everything I want. What does pile three's person want to say? And wounded. Hurt people hurt people. So this person was experiencing a lot of hurt here. And I feel like they may have taken that out on you as well. Like their own distortion, confusion, their inner pain may have, unfortunately, resulted in you getting hurt, kind of just being a bystander to their pain. And then timing, everything is unfolding between us at the exact right time. This one's just sort of slipped out. So I feel like that's a message from their higher self that things are actually working out. Even if things seem weird or confusing in the 3D, it certainly seems like you guys are on some sort of journey with this person and things are still moving behind the scenes for sure. They're going through a lot. What does Pile Three's person want to say to Pile Three, please? What does Pile Three's person want to say to Pile Three, please? I feel safe being quiet right now, but I still care about you even in the silence. So, yeah, there could definitely be that silence, sort of Dark Night of the Soul vibes, but they do still care about you, even if they're not talking to you. They still are thinking of you, and they still care for you. What does Pile Three's person want to say to Pile Three? What does Pile Three's person want to say to Pile Three? Does Pile Three's person want to say to Pile Three? Does Pile Three's person want to say? I'm learning that there is strength in vulnerability. So this person could have really struggled to be vulnerable, but they're learning that there is strength there, that it is not weak to be emotional. Our love is infinite. Your eyes are love itself. Wow, beautiful. So they feel like you really like are love to them. And I feel like when they look into your eyes, they feel so much deep emotion for you. In my mind, we're always together. So even if you guys are not talking or there's times where you guys don't talk, this person is kind of always with you in spirit, sort of always with you even energetically. You may feel this person around you a lot energetically. The more I find myself, the more I find you. So exactly, as they do that self-exploration, as they get in touch with their soul, I feel like they're reminded of how much they care for you. I will always forgive you. And there truly is no competition. No one else ever really had a chance to take my heart because it always belonged to you. So person just reminding you that even if there's been other people, ever in this connection, that their heart always was yours at the end of the day. All right, so let's get you a word from these cards, Pile 3. All right, what does Pile 3 need to hear right now, please? What does Pile 3 need to hear right now, please? What does Pile 3 need to... Whoa. What does Pile 3 need to hear right now, please? What does Pile 3 need to hear? All right, so we have uniqueness. I accept my own nature. Change me, divine beloved, into one who embraces my own uniqueness. Let me accept my own nature, completely knowing it, too, is divine. May I love myself as I am, not as others say I should be. This is really beautiful. So this is all about self-acceptance and embracing who you are as a person, because that is really where your beauty is who you truly are. I feel like that's why we kind of incarnate in ways to really discover ourselves and act from that place of authenticity. True nature, I know the eternal. Change me, divine beloved, into one who knows the true nature of our souls. Awaken me to the knowledge of the eternal. Let me know my true self as consciousness. So I feel like this is about you getting in touch with your soul, sort of the eternal part of yourself, the connection you have to spirit, the fact that you're not just, some random person, some random body. You are connected to something infinite and eternal, and there is that part of you that will always, come and go, and always return to that and then, reincarnate all that energy. And then we have freedom. I love myself. Change me, divine beloved, into one who can love myself in every condition. Free me from self-torture. Fill me with self-acceptance and worthiness. May I allow and honor all of my feelings, however they arise. So, free me from self-torture. So if you ever get caught up in, really criticizing yourself or feeling, very down about yourself or who you are, I feel like there's a lot of messages here that Pile 3, you should really, be grateful for who you are and really learn to find that worthiness and self-acceptance. And also definitely not repress your emotions or your feelings. Like if you feel a certain way about something, it's definitely good to work through those emotions and honor them and heal yourself and really be there for yourself. Because I feel like, for example, a lot of times in like law of attraction, there's a lot of shame around emotions or getting, you know, I guess like upset about things that happen, and you're kind of expected to be like stoic and not emotional. And I feel like part of the trigger, like things that trigger us are just things that need to be healed within us. And so if we can take that time to sort of work through those emotions and process them and sort of release them, it's like we're free from that pain, we're free from that trigger. Um, which is oftentimes tied to, generational wounds and curses and things that we really do come here to heal. So we do come here to feel our feelings and heal. So don't be ashamed of your emotions, basically. All right, pile three, thank you so much for watching. It's been a pleasure. Sending you so much love. Please take care of yourselves. All right, bye bye.